We all deal with crap. Stuff is gonna happen that's not gonna be fun, not gonna be enjoyable. But what do we do and how do we handle the situation, I think, is very important to just our life, our family, the people that are close to us, and our walk with God. Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Ascend the Mountain. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Steve, and we are two normal dudes just having an authentic but lighthearted conversation about God and life. With how many times I have said that, I think it would just roll off the tongue. And it doesn't.
We got to practice 6 times. This is take 11. No, I'm just kidding. So welcome back, folks. We are doing it in a new location today. So we'll see how it pans out. But we just want to welcome you back to another episode. And today we're going to be talking about
when crap hits the fan.
What do you do? How do you handle that? Crap hitting the fan. Because I think in life, I know. We all deal with crap. Stuff is going to happen that's not going to be fun, not going to be enjoyable. But what do we do and how do we handle the situation, I think, is very important to just our life, our family, the people that are close to us, and our walk with God.
And it's a good plumb line to figure out where you're at or how rooted you are in your relationship with God.
Right. Because it's a cliche kind of thing, but it's like, you may have heard this said, like when the pressure's on and like you're squeezed, what comes out, yeah, totally, is who you are. And so is it not good stuff or is it good stuff coming out under pressure?
And
Which I know it's not all good when I'm under pressure, and I'm sure you're in the same boat.
Nope, I'm an orange and I squeeze orange juice.
So for you, Steve, I know you have just recently gone through something pretty intense, definitely like crap hitting the fan level.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, everyone knows I have 2 kids, 2 teenagers, and I'm very close to my daughter, and she had a nasal surgery about 2 weeks ago. And everything seemed to go good. She's going back to school. Everything is just kind of like going well. And then she come on a Friday and she started having this bloody nose, which is sometimes normal with her procedure, but it wouldn't stop. And it was gushing. We ended up in an emergency room, tubes up her nose, and watching your daughter, it looked like she was just spitting up blood, and blood is going everywhere, and they just were having a hard time stopping it. And I'm just sitting there going, as I'm watching that happen, I'm just like, what is happening? Not knowing really what to do. And I just kind of just walked around the hallway and just started just praying in the spirit. I was like, God, I have no idea what to even say right now, but I'm just kind of like going, you're in control, because I have zero control in this situation.
Yeah.
But I was like I'm just like walking around just praying and praying, going up to her, kind of like going, man, this is crazy. They ended up admitting her to a hospital.
Right. And I mean, because how much blood did she lose in the course of like 30 minutes or something?
She lost over half.
Half of her bodily blood.
So when she was admitted, they ended up stopping it, and then she bled through that. Come to find out, they had to call Code Blue, which is
not good.
Not what parents want to hear.
Yeah, you do not want to hear that.
And end up having a burst in her artery at her nose.
And that's a major artery.
Yes.
Like that'll kill you.
So it was like a 3.5 hour surgery about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And that's nerve wracking. I tried to sleep, tried to go through it, but I just kept on saying, here you go, God. But I was thinking I was going to lose her. So that was actually what I was waiting for. My wife was telling me this is not good.
Because you were at home.
I had to go home and be with my son, and my wife was at the hospital.
Yeah, so you're in even like a more sense of like limbo.
I was just waiting for that call, because the last phone call I got from my wife was Code Blue.
Ugh.
So it was, she's alive.
Right. And everything's okay now.
Everything's okay. We're
still
not clearly out of the woods, but she's still healing up. But
she's home, all that stuff.
But I found out during that time, I stayed calm.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't yell at God, like, what the heck is happening? But I was confused.
Yeah.
Like going, I was thinking of Job.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you think of all the bad scriptures, but that's something as I've been able to process it, one of the things that I found out about it, like, not growing up in church, and then when I became a Christian, I always felt like I was sold this bill of goods, like nothing bad happens.
Once you're
to
saved,
Christian,
like
once
if
you're
you get like you're in the kingdom of God now, nothing bad ever happens.
I mean, he heals everyone. He does all these great things.
Right.
And I've come to find out there's also an enemy now.
Yeah.
He hates you. You're not on his team. And he comes to steal, kill, and destroy, which are 3 crazy things that he does. And
Yeah.
he's always after your family. He's always after to break this relationship up with your family and with your friends, but also with the Father.
Yeah.
And he really wants to just mess with your head and intimidate you and try to wreak havoc. And
Right.
he really, but I caught myself more this time praying more. I wish I did this in every situation,
Yeah.
but I caught myself just saying, hey.
Well, and I think it was a beautiful thing that you said a moment ago that like when you were hearing this, you were not in control. And I think a lot of times when the crap hits the fan, we feel like it's really bad because we're not in control of the situation. There's nothing that we can do to fix this fill in the blank issue, whatever is going on.
I do not have a doctorate, so
Right.
I could not go in and fix the nose.
Right. You can't go in there and help her. I mean, it's like
It's
you
all
gotta
in
trust
the
somebody
someone,
else.
a stranger's hand that I don't know.
Right. And so when you're in that moment of I have no control over this situation, it really comes down to the only thing you do have control over is how you react to the situation. That's it. That's the only thing that you have control over. And so in this case, you have discovered that like you're going to God more, like God, you're the one that can do something. So if you're going to do it, please do it.
I went to the right place.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's even thinking that I'm going to lose her.
Mm-hmm.
And that was still, it's hard to even, I mean,
Process. I know.
we're in my house right now.
Yeah, she's
just
downstairs.
she's
I mean,
just
we just talked to
downstairs.
her,
And it's still, it's still very fresh.
Yeah, fresh shock.
And it's
on some
still,
level.
and my wife and I have talked about it, but it's still something that it's tough to even talk about, but even process. But I found out through it all, I'm very proud of what I mean,
Yeah, and that's okay to say.
because when you lose, I didn't get mad.
Right.
I was like, okay. But I think what you're saying is when you lose control, it's almost like when you have a car. What are you going to do?
Right. Right.
When you lose control of a car. I don't know if that's a good analogy,
Yeah.
but that was a bump in my
Yeah.
head. Like,
Right.
and that's what it felt like. I was like,
Right.
I just don't want to crash it.
Right. And it's like,
Jesus,
what are you
take
gonna
the
do? Drop an F-bomb or cry out to Jesus? It's like, which one's gonna
Hey,
help?
did not cuss.
Right. And so it's like, and that's not the issue, but it's
Yeah.
like what am I looking to? What am I going to? And I think something that is also important that we were talking about before, we turned on the camera was that I think for a lot of people, when the crap hits the fan in our own lives, we feel like, well, everyone else has got so much stuff going on in their life. I don't want to burden them, so I'm just going to like internally process it or internally try and keep it to myself because I don't want to burden other people. But there are people in your life who love you and care about you, and it is okay to reach out to them. They want to be there to help you. I mean, you experienced that even in this moment.
You're one of the first people I called and said, hey, I kind of gave you updates.
Yeah. Throughout the day, and I was so glad for that.
And I let other people that are close to me, some pastoral staff and some leaders and some friends that I know, kept it pretty tight.
Yeah.
But I know people who would really pray. And one thing I did do was I still haven't posted on social media.
Yeah.
Now it is.
Right. Now, after the fact.
But I kind of kept it so not as like, hey, look at what's happening. I really want to keep this is a serious situation. I'm not saying what you post on social media is wrong or right or serious or not. But I really want to make it like, hey, I know you guys are going to pray.
Right.
I know you have my best interest in heart. I
Right.
know you know my family and love my family. I know you're not going to just say, blow it off.
Right.
Or emoji praying.
Right.
But it's something
Smoke.
like
Sending smoke and good thoughts. I'm just going to be honest, I hate that.
give me this emoji, which is really a high five.
Right.
But yeah, that's something that is very important, is letting other people in, but being careful who you let
Right.
in a serious situation. People who really have your back and really going to pray and really support you.
Right.
And my friends and people who I let in have continued to support me.
And that's okay. And that's what we want to encourage you with. The next time, because it's not if it'll happen, it's when the crap's going to hit the fan in your life.
Yeah.
It's okay to let some people know. and to think about who are those people in my life that and it's okay if it's only like one or two people, that's fine. But don't feel like you're a burden to them. You need that help. You need that support in the moment. It's vital, to just your well-being, and that there's a support system out there. Other than that, and going off of what you were saying with even the social media thing, of at the same time, there is a flip side to that. That when crap hits the fan, are you just looking for sympathy?
Yeah.
Are you just looking for feel bad for me?
Yeah.
And to just be conscientious of that, because I do know, I follow people, you follow people, on social media, and you're like, wow, you're just posting that because you're just looking for someone to feel bad for you, not because you actually need help, not because you're actually
going
asking
on a bunny
for
trail was like those people who say, "Oh, I can't believe this is happening."
Right, to
and
yourself,
then,
yeah.
Then they have 80 people going, "What's up? What's up?"
Right,
and they say
right.
nothing.
Yeah.
You're like,
come on. And maybe you're listening and you've done that. That's okay.
I've done it.
Let's not do that again. And to really ask yourself then why. If I'm doing these things to try and get sympathy or attention, why is that? Why do I feel like I need to get sympathy and attention? And that's a whole nother topic for a different video.
But we always hit this. What's important is when it hits the fan,
Yeah.
but just anything in life, we always talk about these two things: your relationship with the Father,
Yep.
and your community around you,
Yep.
your tribe.
Yep.
And it's always keeping that real. And it doesn't matter what it may not be my situation. Yours can be totally different, but when crap hits the fan, no matter what it is, no matter you think it's big or little, it's not a comparison.
Right.
But you're sitting there going, you continue to go talk to the Father.
Right.
And talk to your community that you trust and love. And if you don't have that community, talk to the Father and say, hey.
Right.
Help me find a community.
Yeah, and just to give like an example of that, several years ago, I fell asleep at the wheel when I was driving with a buddy. He was in the front seat with me, and then my dog was in the back seat. We were coming back from a hike, and I was just super dehydrated. It was like middle of summer, and I just hadn't slept well, and I fell asleep at the wheel for probably 10 seconds. But in that time frame, going about 50 miles an hour, I went through oncoming traffic, down. Do you know this whole story?
I've never even heard this.
Oh yeah, and then. And I have photos. Maybe I'll try to find them and put them up there when when we post this. And I went down the shoulder of the road, and my buddy woke me up as we were headed towards a telephone pole. So I jerked the wheel, and we rolled 3 times in my Outback, and walked away.
Did he fell asleep too?
He was kind of like napping. He woke up before I did, and like was hitting me as we're heading at about 50 miles an hour towards the telephone pole.
Oncoming traffic.
Through oncoming traffic and then down the hill. Anyway, so walked away from that, but I had a lot of like post-traumatic stress because of that for about a month. I almost didn't sleep. I was drinking like pots of coffee because every time I closed my eyes, I would see that instant when I woke up and saw the telephone pole and jerked the wheel. You didn't man, I can't believe I haven't told you that story. Anyway, and during that there was about a month where I was really dealing with like almost insomnia. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that being played out over and over again, thinking through like I could have killed my buddy. I could have killed my dog. He broke his leg, had to have surgery. That's a whole different story. I'm sure I'll go into more detail at some point down the line. But the point being that in that moment, the two things that I was doing for that like month of really kind of trying to figure that all out, and just myself of God, help me take these images away. I literally prayed, God, take these images out of my mind. Get these images so that I can close my eyes and not see this almost death experience, near-death experience in my mind. Take the guilt of like the injury that I caused to my dog, having to go through surgery, breaking his leg, all that stuff, almost killing could have killed my buddy, could have killed somebody head on, like holy cow, and that the enemy does want to kill you. Like he absolutely wants to kill you, steal, or do something to you. And then I was with other people, and I would tell those people that I cared about, that I was in that close.
Well, what you're just even saying, like, processing that you made took another person's life.
Yeah, I mean nuts.
That's a lot to.
It's hard. It was hard. It was really, really hard to get over that.
Did the Father take those images away?
He has, absolutely. Unless I literally have to think about it, and even then, it's kind of like almost like a third-person view of it now. Whereas before, I was seeing it because obviously I opened my eyes and there's a pole, and my brain is telling me to turn the wheel. And so, very intense thing that could have really affected my driving. You know, I could be like, I don't want to drive anymore, or I can't drive alone anymore, or, whatever. But God has completely like restored my thoughts, and that imagery has been removed from my mind. and just even some of that guilt, that I was feeling. And it was because other people were praying for me. I told them that I was dealing with that. Close people, again, I didn't blast it out on social media.
Well, or in his car, because I never heard it.
Right. So, well, I don't want to make people feel paranoid that they're riding with me.
I will drive from now on.
Right. And so, that just going off of what you're saying, of like that helped me get through that, and that God does have the supernatural power to help you with those things.
That's good.
So.
Man, so what we're saying is, not if, but when.
Right.
What's going to squeeze out of you, and really finding people that has your back, and once again, whatever it is, like find your tribe, people you can pray with, who's going to support you and love you and help you. But also, we're always going to stress this: never stop talking to the Father.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even when you feel like He's not listening, when you feel like He's mad at you and stuff like that, like He hears you.
And I feel like I'm supposed to say this. When it comes to the people in your life and with your connection with God, it's not always about the quantity, but it's about the quality.
Cool.
So don't feel bad if you're like, I only have 2 people that I can call. Are those quality people? Awesome. That's all you need. If you're like, I don't talk to God like 20 times a day. Okay, but is that one time that you talk to Him super good quality? Awesome. Great. So.
Father likes to hear your voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another topic, so that's cool.
That's it. That's all I got.
Hey, those who've been commenting, thank you so much.
Seriously.
I like it. It's good stuff. And thank you for subscribing. If this helps, share it. Share it with your friends.
Yeah, thumbs up the video on YouTube. Subscribe. I don't know all the podcasts.
We're on Spotify and Apple.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah. We're super famous.
We're coming out with stickers soon, so heads up for that. We'll let you know. We don't even know how we're going to get them to you. We'll just airdrop them from like a drone or something. I don't know.
We'll just show it. Yes.
Right. We'll just be like, look at, we got stickers. You can't have them.
We're going to put them on hiking sites, and if you find it, you can hang out.
It'll be like an Easter egg thing. So anyway, you guys are awesome. We love you, and can't wait to see you next time. Peace.